everyone! Today I'm going to be showing you how to do this really lovely holiday glam look, and Christmas is my favorite time of year, so I'm really excited to show you how to do this. It's just a really glittery eye with gold and plum and a berry lip and just lots of drama and all out glam. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Now I have already prepped my skin by doing my foundation, which was the LR oil free foundation, and I've also set my foundation with my Hollywood powder. Because of the colors I'm going to be using, it's quite an intense bright eye, and basically I'm going to have a lot of darker color that's going to fall down as I do my eye. Normally I would do the eye first and then the foundation, but because I want to make this a bit shorter, I'm just going to start. I've already done my foundation. So what I'm going to do to help prevent any fallout from sticking on my foundation, I'm just going to take some loose powder. This is the LR Colors loose powder, so I'm just going to tap that. And I'm going to take just a one of the little triangle sponges that you just get in a pack of like 50, and I'm going to take some of the loose powder and I'm just going to pat it under my eyes. And it's going to look a little bit funny, it looks like this, but what's going to happen is we'll brush it off later, but it's just to prevent any of that fallout sticking onto the foundation. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to line my top lash line and my bottom waterline with this black. This is just a black kohl pencil. This is an LR Colors pencil. So I'm just going to lift the eyelid slightly and just line in there with the black. Okay, now once I've done that, I'm just going to prime my eyelid with the LR Perfect Eye and Lip Base. Just going to get a tiny bit, you can see it, just like that. And I'm just going to put that on my lids. And you really want to be using a primer when you're going to be doing really intense colors like this, because you want them to last, especially if you're doing this for a Christmas party or for work or for Christmas Day. You want it to last. Now the first color I'm going to start with is this peachy color right here. So I'm going to take that peachy color and I'm just going to take a flat brush just like this, and I'm just going to apply that to the main part of my lid. And don't worry too much about blending this color out at this point. You just want to get a nice base down on the lid. Okay, now when you're done with that, just take a fluffy brush like this and just give it a tiny little blend. Okay, I'm going to take my fluffy brush here again, and I'm going to be taking the lighter purple color, which is right there. So I'm just going to get some right on the tip of this brush, just kind of dab it on like that. So I'm just going to get some purple on there, and I just want to just go right along my crease and just lightly dust that purple on, just so I get almost a nice shadow of purple along that crease line. And the same on the other side. I'm going to take a different fluffy brush, which is just here. This is not the same brush I just used, because you don't want to be smearing purple, you want to be blending. So it's important when you're doing darker colors that you have some brushes that are clean that you can use for blending. So I'm just going to blend that top line where I just did that purple. Okay, now the next color I'm going to be doing will be the darker purple. So it's just there, that's the darker purple there. And I'm going to be using a finer point brush. I'm going to be using a pencil brush, which is just here. And we're going to layer this color because I want to have a really dramatic, glamorous eye for this look. So I'm just going to start in the corner here with a little dot. Okay, and what I'm going to do is then I'm going to go up, kind of dot it up here, and then into the crease here. So I'm also going to take that purple under the eye. So just on the outer edges here and kind of about halfway in. And I'm just going back over and just building this color up. And I'm just kind of just making like a really soft wing shape as I go. So you can kind of see that there. And then make sure and take that the same, just about halfway under the eye. When you're blending this color, you want to be really careful because it's really dark and you don't want to smear it around much at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fluffy brush here and I'm going to be taking some of that light peach color that we put on the lid, and I'm just going to be taking that along the top edge here. Where the purple is, and just gently blending it down. And it's just really, really slight blending. You really, really don't want to move this dark purple around because otherwise it's just going to look awful. Now I'm going to be taking my, this is just like a tiny little, like it could be like a little concealer brush. It's kind of like a tear duct brush. I'm going to be taking that into my medium purple, and I'm going to just go back over these lines kind of where we just blended with that medium purple, and just kind of sharpen up the lines a bit. Okay. Now I'm going to be taking a clean smudge brush, which looks like this, and with this brush you want to just do tiny little movements to blend. You don't want to be just pushing it all around, but you just want to do tiny little movements. So I'm going to go up on that corner here and I'm just going to do tiny little blending movements, but I don't want to use a fluffy brush because I want to blend it, but I want to keep that line there. Now that I have my dark purple done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch palettes on you, and I'm just going to take this white color here from a different palette. This is also an LR Deluxe palette. I'm going to take a very small flat brush like this, get some of that white on there, and I'm just going to take that just under my brow as just a nice highlight. The next part is, I think my favorite part, is the gold. So I am going to take my palette that we were using, which is here. Okay, and I'm going to take this gold color. I actually prefer this gold even over my Half Baked from the Urban Decay. I just find this is just such a bright pigment, and I really, really like it, especially for doing like a holiday glam look like this. So I'm going to take my pencil brush again. Make sure and wipe off any of that purple if you've got some on there, or swap brushes if you have another one. So I'm going to take the gold color there, and I'm just going to start in my tear duct here, and I'm just going to be taking that up onto my lid, and I'm also going to be taking it under the lid, just to that halfway point where we did the dark purple. Okay, and you can just take your little fluffy brush and just kind of blend over where you've joined the gold with that purple. And you can just keep layering on that gold until you've got the intensity that you want. This is quite an intense color, so I don't really need to do too much layering. I'm going to be doing some liquid liner. This is a black liquid liner from LR. And I'm just going to wing this look out just to, this eyeliner out just to match what we've done with the shadow there. So I'm just going to draw my line just like that, and I'm just going to connect that line. Like a little triangle shape. Okay, now if you're happy with your liquid line, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fan brush and I'm going to start sweeping off that powder that we put down, because I'm going to do my mascara and my lashes next, and I'm not planning on having any fallout from that. It's mainly the eyeshadow that we worry about with the fallout. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little concealer brush just here, and I'm just going to go right under that line of the purple and just kind of tidy it up, make sure that there's no bits that I've missed with the fan brush and with the powder. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to be popping on a coat of mascara. This is the LR Deluxe Fantastic Mascara. Just going to pop one coat of this on just before I put the lashes on. So that's just one coat. And I'm also going to just curl my lashes with my Dior Curl Heat. And sorry, it's Dior Show Heat Curl. Thank you, that's a tongue twister. I'm just going to be popping on some corner lashes. I've chosen these Glam Eyes from Manicare, and these are the accent lashes. They're just the, there you go, just the corner lashes like that. So I'm going to stick them just on the outside lashes. Okay, so now I've got my corner lashes on, which look like that. Close my eyes so you can see them like that. And I'm just going to put on another coat of mascara just to kind of blend in the lashes and kind of put it all together. And this is, for this glam look, just gives you some really amazing lashes, and it just makes it just so much more glamorous. I have put powder on my face, but basically because I've just done my eyes and stuff, I just want to touch it up. So I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush like that and some of my Hollywood powder again, and just going to dab that on my forehead. Just to remove any oiliness that I might have. And the reason that I'm doing this is I'm not quite finished with the eyes. I'm just kind of letting that letting those lashes and that mascara sit. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking my angled brush like this, and I'm going to be taking some Always Summer bronzer, which looks like this. And I'm just going to take some of that on my angled brush. And I'm just going to do the contours of my cheeks. And I'm doing this a little bit heavier than I normally would, because this is a glamorous, more like an evening look or a holiday look. So I'm doing it a little bit heavier than I normally would. And I'm just going to take this bronzer on the side of my nose. Just slenderize my nose a little bit. Okay, and I'm also going to take a little bit more, dab it out of my hand, just on my temples and around my forehead, just by my hairline. Okay, and just to kind of blend that in, I'm just going to take my fan brush. Now, also on my angled brush, I'm just going to dust off the rest of that bronzer on the back of my hand. And I'm going to be taking some Glamorous blush. Just there. So I'm going to take all the colors blended together. And I'm just going to, again, flick it off because this is a very high pigment. So you just need a tiny bit. And I'm just going to do this just on the cheekbone here. Again, now that I've done my blush, I'm going to take my fan brush, just dust around the edges of the blush. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my eyeshadow palette, which we just used, and I can't find it. Okay, here we go. This eyeshadow palette here. I'm going to take that peach color here on my finger, like that. And I'm going to go just on the top of my cheekbone here with that lovely peach color and use that as a bit of a highlight. And the reason I'm using this color is it just ties everything together really nicely, and it just really brings out those cheekbones. So we need to do the brows and we need to finish off the eyes. So I'm going to take my brow brush, sorry, this is not a brush, my brow pencil from LR. This is the dark one, and I've chosen this one. I often use the blonde one, but I've chosen this one because this is a very dramatic, glamorous look, so I'm using the darker color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the fat end, which is there, and I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. Okay, hopefully that's enough. Okay, I'm going to take that fat end and just kind of shape my brows, like push some of the hairs down and just kind of get them going where I want them to go. I'm going to fill them in. Okay, now I'm going to take the smaller end, which is the more precise end just there, and I'm just going to go and just actually fill in the gaps. Okay, so now that I've sort of filled in my brows, they're quite dark. I'm just going to take my little brow brush like this and just kind of comb that color through brows a little bit. Okay, so once I'm pretty happy with the definition and the color, I'm going to be taking a brow setting gel. This is the Perfect Brow Styler from LR, and this is actually the light color, and the reason that I chose this, because you're like, you're doing your brows dark, what are you doing? The reason I chose this is because this has a nice kind of light reflection to it. So if I put that over my brows that have just done quite dark and dramatic, it just gives it that little bit of reflection that makes them look much more natural than if I was just going to go on it with this dark brown gel. And just have these like really painted on eyebrows. So even though I'm doing them a little bit more dramatic, this stuff is really good to just set them and give them just more of a natural finish. So I'm just kind of painting that through. So you see that just gives it a little bit of a more reflective look, so it's not quite as harsh. And then just if you finish your brows, just make sure, I've done this in videos before and I just can't undo it, it's terrible, but just make sure, go with your concealer brush, make sure that you don't have any of that brow pencil hanging around on your skin around your brows. Just make sure they're nice and tidy. And that gel is just going to glue those eyebrows in place as well, so they'll be nice and set and ready to go. The last thing I'm going to do on the eyes, which is just makes them just look so beautiful and so festive, I guess, is this glitter eyeliner. Now I'm using it's Ulta 3 liquid eyeliner in gold chains, and this eyeliner I bought at the chemist, and I think it was like, I can't remember, it was really cheap. And I thought I'll get one and I'll just test it out and see how I like it. And I ended up buying every color that they make in this product. So I really like it, and it's so cheap, but it just adds such a nice pop to your holiday makeup or any makeup that you want to do, and just add a bit of glitter. So I'm going to take this glitter and I'm just going to paint it on where we've done that gold. So you just take it over where we've done that gold shadow. Okay, and with this, make sure that you do not have your eyes fully open when you do this, because if you get into the crease and it dries, you're just going to have a line of glitter. So you just want to kind of let it dry while your eyes kind of closed a bit so you don't get it. But I'm not going all the way in, I'm just doing where we've done that gold, and I'm also doing this under the eye. Okay, just add a little bit more. You can do another layer. You could just cake this on as much as you want to, and it just looks fantastic. So just make sure that you let it dry between each layer. And the last thing I'm going to do for this look to finish it off is the lips. So I have chosen this lovely sort of cherry color. This is LR Deluxe lipstick, and this is in shade 4. So this is just a lovely color, and it's just very glam. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the matching lip liner, also shade 4, and I'm just going to line my lips with this. Once I've done a rough outline, I'm actually just going to fill that in a little bit with the liner. Okay, I'm going to be taking my lip brush and the lipstick. Now I'm doing a brush because a brush just gives you a much more precise line, and it just goes on a lot nicer. But make sure when you're doing your dark lipstick that you connect your lines on the edges, because otherwise you just have this funny like top and bottom lip, and when you open your mouth it doesn't connect and it looks a bit silly. So make sure that you actually connect that line. Okay, and another thing that you absolutely must remember is when you have your dark lip color on, put your finger in your mouth and pull it out to remove any of that excess lipstick that would go on your teeth. So, like that. So you see that lipstick that's on my finger? That would have been on my teeth. And that sort of color on your teeth would be terrible in holiday photos. So make sure and do that, and you get all that extra lipstick that would have been on your teeth. And don't forget to wipe it off your finger, because that would look very funny as well. Okay, and the last and final step that I'm going to do for this look is I'm going to take this beautiful berry lip gloss, and I'm just going to take that and just put a little bit on the Cupid's bow and in the center of the lip. Oops, there we go. Okay, I actually said that the lips were the final step of this look, but I'm actually going to add some little gems just to the side of the eye for just a little bit of extra drama and a little bit of extra glitter. So I'm just going to zoom in and I'm just going to take my tweezers here. These are from Manicure as well, and they already have the adhesive on them. So they're just little individual gems. And I've also cleaned off the glue from your lashes because I have a little bit of glue still stuck on there. Okay, so I've just finished putting these little crystal gems on the side of my eyes, and I didn't do them the same on both eyes, so you don't have to have them exactly even. They're just kind of a fun random thing that you can do. So I'm just going to zoom in because this is the final look so you can see. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. I love Christmas and this is just such a fun look to do. So I hope you have a really, really Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I will see you next time. Alright, bye!